Lurker. Show yourself. All right. Hey, Brian. Tyler. Kyle. It's been one of those days, dude. So, uh, had some crankbaits to paint, some swim baits. How do I hop on so I can teach today's lesson? So, what we did today um, was I, yeah, well, I'm not totally spent. You're probably seeing rage, infuriation, disgust, all of those things. Um, but what had happened was, so got all my crankbaits painted, got all my swim baits painted, and the thing about these swim baits is there were four Chad Shads, two new ones, two resin ones. So the guy wanted one resin, one plastic of the same color, and then he wanted another color in one of each. So I was I had to mix up. It's a color I've done before, but I've only done like a couple times. So I had to mix the colors for it. And I typically mix them in a cup, and I've got like a little glass jar or something. And once I get it right, I'll just dump it in the jar, and then I can use it when I need it. And so I did these two, and they're like this kokanee. I don't know if they're a kokanee. I don't. They're some sort of like California fish. Um, but so I get them done, and I have a Doom Raider, or whatever, swim bait. Had one of those to do. It's like knock this thing out, get it painted. It looks good, and I had them all hanging there. I had two carp chads I did, so I had like five swim baits hanging there, and I thought, you know what, you filthy animal, how about you pick up all your paint bottles and put them in a little basket where they go and be neat and orderly to where when you come in tomorrow, all your paint will be nice and organized, and you can your desk will be, your little paint area will be cleaned off. You'll get to start anew. Why not, right? Don't leave all your paint bottles out like you usually do. That would make too much sense. So I start putting bottles up. Well, I get all of them done, and I get to bone, and I guess bone. I don't know if bone has a little some sort of back pressure in it. It's got something gassing off in it, but around the nozzle of the bottle, it's totally clogged with paint. So when I pour it out, it's like this little like pinhole stream. Uh, but I guess that was enough of a restriction that when I closed the cap, paint shot like a fountain out of the bottle directly at my baits. And I was like, no. And when I tell you it was a fountain, I set the bottle in the thing and it went like a piss string. So I was like, God. So I go to the Doom Rider, and it's clear. I was like, all right, hang it up. I get to this California shad thing on a resin shad, and it looks like you took a paintbrush with bone paint and just loaded it up about as heavy as you wanted and went and just splattered it all down the side. It's like, well, I can't touch it because if I touch it, lacquer eats into itself, so it's done. I sat there and thought, and I was like, the only thing I could do is I could let this thing dry, and then I can try and sand it down with like 2500 to get to like my original. I was like, there's no way I can do that. It's like I'll never get to the original like layer of paint, and it be not noticeable that there was an 1/8 inch of bone paint splattered on it. So I grabbed a rag, grabbed some lacquer thinner, wiped what off I could, took it in there, and wet sanded it with 1500 and 2500 grit to kind of clean it up a little bit. And then I got to go do that over again. And the problem with it was I had mixed the paint to match all the baits, and then I had to remix it for one side. It's pretty infuriating. But after that, like after I dicked that one bait up, I was like hiding all the baits in case something else went wrong. I was like, this shit usually doesn't. There's usually something else that will go awry. So I like put them as far away from me as I possibly could. But oh, and then yesterday I had my bottle of black paint and I had the lid taken off because I had like added some retarder to it or something. And I had it under my spray booth, and I guess I've got a collection of overspray that's like crusted up on top of my little spray booth. And there was a volcanic eruption of overspray powder dust junk that fell from the roof of the spray booth. And guess where it landed? Right in my black paint bottle that was like nearly full. Son of a bitch, dude. So got to redo my black, but the moral of the story, if you are a new painter, AJ, you missed the malfunction today. I mean, it was pretty terrible. But the moral of the story, that if you are a old or new painter, when you're shaking your paint bottles, make sure the lids are on tight. I can't tell you how many times I've shaken up a paint bottle and have not screwed on the bottle top and paint go flying everywhere. Or what I'm really bad about is taking the top off and then sticking it on the top and not screwing it down. And then I'll get like, I get like fidgety, like my paint bottles are closing in on me, and I'll start grabbing them and like moving them. And I'll grab them by the lid, and then I'll pick just the lid up, and the bottle of paint will fall over. Or I'll bump them, and then the paint will fall over, and the lid's not screwed on all the way, and it'll just spill paint everywhere. So if you go look in my paint room, there's huge, gigantic stains of most recent purple. Yesterday I spilled purple. But green happens a lot. But check your lids, new and old painters. don't shake up your paint, and keep your lids clean. If they're cracked a little bit, you still get paint flying out. So that will save you a lot of heartache. And um, I've also learned that when I shake up paint, I will typically step away from where I'm painting and go to like the other, not too far away, but I'll step back and kind of get out of the range of actual baits I'm trying to paint. But yeah, like I said, it was just one of those damn days, dude. One of those days. Uh, Not to mention it was 600 degrees outside. Like I have like sweated. Like when I got done painting, like I could feel sweat on my shirt, like all the way down here. Like all this was, and it was my right arm. My left arm wasn't too bad, but my right was just like my right side was pouring sweat, which is my paint hand. Um, but blue candy spill. It's always fun wasting paint by the bottle. Love that. Uh, but today was probably one of the more horrific splatters I've had. Uh, I've dicked up some baits, but that one was a good one. Real good. Minus $50. Yeah. Yep. Yep. The problem with uh, the type of paint I use is, you're right, AJ, is I can't just go buy it. So if I spill like a bottle of green's done for like a week. Uh, so maybe I should switch back to apple barrel. I never spill it out of the bottle. I somehow always manage to dump it out of the cup on my brush to where it runs down and then splatters off your nozzle cap. Done that a million times. Um, Brian, if you looked at it, you'd never know, honestly. Uh, I was thinking about it and I was like, I should take a picture of this because it is horrific. It looks like a horror scene. Uh, Perfectly like that's the thing that pissed me off is that it was like it was flawless. Like that one side, it was perfect. As perfect as I can get, and and then I had to redo it. So it's kind of tainted. It's not completely pure to where it's like paint to like when the guy if when the guy starts wearing through, like if he throws it enough to wear through the clear and through the paint, he'll have a whole nother paint job under his rash. Um, Ooh, that's a fun one, AJ. Pulled the paint off unmasking. Your magic frog tape failed you. Uh, I could dump it out of the cup and get it on the ceiling. I don't. I'm trying to think what my biggest blunders are from day to day. It's probably not putting the caps on, and then knocking bottles over that don't have caps screwed on. That's probably my biggest uh, hurdle I have to jump over. But I did get to paint something fun today. Um, Something I haven't painted since I was a beginner. Let me get my white paper so you can see. That's right. Sexy shad. But wait, there's more. There's more juvenile paint jobs. Caribbean shad, a la Rapala. Brent Erler gill, which I would say is not a noob pattern, but it is Yes, on an OSP. They're a combination of DRs and MRs, mainly DRs. Um, the MRs are this one. No, these are real. These are legit. I like painting them. No, these are real. These are the real deal. They even have the little. That one's kind of filled in with paint. That one you can see it's got the little engraving right there behind the gill plate, right there. Yeah, these are nice. These are nice, and they came out nice. So I'm excited about these. I'm excited to send them to this man. Coal shads look uglier in person. Of course they do. They are sexy little baits. They are. They are. Um, I swear, I wish I knew the company that was making the Blitz MR, but just relabeling them. I hate that I got rid of the package. Look at Barlow's tackle. I think they have a. I think they have a Blitz that's good. But speaking of blitzes, I did have a gentleman who works at a giant tackle retailer that is high up at this said tackle retailer that would have access to any bait he wanted at, I'm sure, a substantial discount. And he wanted some blitzes painted, and you know what he sent me? Not the originals, the KOs. Said he liked them better. But what do him or I know? I think I'm gonna put Megabass eyes on them. I don't know. I've been thinking about that. Thinking about little Meggy eyes. But I think they'd look nice. I think they would look nice. But I used to have. I was going to use my really fancy ones because I have a set of like legit Megabass eyes, and I don't know what I've done with them. I gotta go through all these millions of Megabass eyes. Or fake. There they are. Oh, they're teeny. They're teenies. They're good to have though. Where are they? I guess I don't have any 5mm anymore. That's a shame. Jeremy, I have not. The Griffin works just as good. I thought they were pretty good myself, honestly. But I didn't have like a real one to compare it to. So but I like standalone. I thought it was a good running crankbait. That's kind of how I look at a lot of these KOs. Is that if I throw one and it doesn't take on water and it runs good, then I'll throw it. Like I don't necessarily need it to match. Like if the action's shitty, then I don't care what it's copying. The action is still shitty. But even if I throw something that doesn't match the original, as long as it runs good, I'm okay. I don't know what that was, Brendan. I don't know what that was. I don't think that was a KO of anything. Yeah, it's kind of like a BDS, but it's not. It's not a BDS KO. It's like in the style of a BDS, but it's not I have a BDS one that is a replica of a BDS one, but that one is not. It's got varying differences, but uh, it's in the style of a BDS. AJ, I think I'm good. Did you get your eyes and your snacks? I never heard back from you. Um, Similar, correct? Looks like it's taller than a BDS. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's definitely BDS two ish. The one, like that one, is a BDS one, like 100%. The dills blew up. I guess they got hot or altitude. Did you eat them? Not selling snacks, just gifting snacks. Um, but let's see. Let me make sure these are. I'll be dipped. Y'all watch that guy. Try to clean up my language. I'll be dipped. I gotta find my damn. I mean my darn exacto. I'll be dipped. Huh. If I were an exacto, where would I be? Not anywhere close. That's for damn sure. There it is. Uh, OG Voodoo pretzels. You can't get Voodoo pretzels over in Georgia. Um, you're not a pickle guy. Damn, dude, those are legit. Did she like them? Can't believe you don't like pickles, bro. Um, did anyone see the lip on the crank Jason Menninger was throwing at Eufaula? Did not. What did it look like? They're branching out. You can get Zapp's pretzels and Voodoo pretzels in other parts of the world other than the South now. Illinois has got them. Trying to keep up with Omnia's jerky. Do they send free jerky or do they just uh, sell you jerky, or do they gift you jerky? I didn't understand the free jerky. What do you have to do to get free jerky? Just order? You have to get a certain amount. No more free shipping. Buy anything and you get jerky. Is it a house brand or is it somebody trying to do a promotion? Hmm. I don't know if I'm in love with this. I don't know if I'm in love with these eyes. Or win a giveaway from Wired to Fish that ships from Omnia. It looks like he ground it round by hand or on rocks. The photo on top of the article. What kind of bait was it? BDS flat? Like a flat CB? Like those? Is that the one you're referencing? The jerky is not organic. We don't need all those nitrates and nitrites in our food. Your Instagram has a pic of the jerky. It's not bad because it's free. I wouldn't spend money on it. Looked like a Lucky Craft 1.5. Might have been a BDS. Yeah, a BDS's bill would be easier to round because it's already kind of round. Some people would probably disqualify it as a square bill. South Jersey, let me tell you the problem with making your own jerky. Because it takes forever. It's messy because you gotta, if you do it with a meat slicer, you gotta clean all the meat slicing parts. You gotta do all that shit. Takes a long time. Then it's done, and people walk by and they're like, ooh, beef jerky. If you dehydrated, let's say, a pound of beef jerky, it takes probably 3 minutes to eat that whole pound. So all your hard work that took hours and hours and hours to do can be eaten in a matter of minutes. Kyle knows. Kyle knows. You make jerky, takes you 8 hours, shit's gone in 10 minutes. Had to crack open a roll of deer sausage. That's good. We got some jalapeno cheddar over here that we need to eat. Actually, we need to throw it all away because the one we got 2 years ago is they dumped a whole, like, I think they got their salt mixture off because it's like all it is salt. It's awful. Can't even eat it. I should probably make some jerky now that y'all mention that. When I find like a cheap piece of meat, I can make a whole deer fit in one Ziploc bag, pretty much. Yeah, my grandmother used to make teriyaki jerky that was real good. And then we did some in like marinated in Dale sauce. That was real good. Any good jerky from the forbidden freezer? There was probably some stuff in there that would qualify as jerky that was not jerky when it went in. I think I'm going to pass on the Mega Douche Eyes and go Lucky Craft. £10 bag of Jack Link's jerky where they're selling for limited time is one hell of a steal at $50. That is a good deal. I need to look at Costco. Where's Morgan's comment? You're probably right on it being an RC. Otherwise, they would have just called it LC 1.5 of the old school crankbait. I missed Morgan's comment. Let me go back up. Dehydrating jerky is depressing. The old school crankbait made me write it off as an RC and not give it a harder look to see those maybe one of their other baits. Could have been. It may have just been a BDS2 though. I thought it was an old RC, but I didn't pay that much attention and have to go back and look. Where do I find this? What do I look on? I'll tell y'all real quick. I'll decipher this real quick. Like Eufaula. What was it called? Damn it. Top Lures article. See if I can find this just by Googling. 2020. Bassmaster posted in their top 10 baits from Eufaula. Bassmaster? Let's look. Bassmaster.com. Let's crack this code on what this man's bait is. Heavy spinner baits for offshore fishing. No shit. Inside Elite's boats, top lures at Alabama's Lake Eufaula. Okay, show me the pictures. That gentleman has a worm. This guy is throwing an old school crankbait. I have it right here on my wall. That color too. His is faded out, but that's it. Peacock, BDS2. I could probably call this gentleman and say, "You looking for one of these?" And he'd say, "Yep." That is what he's holding up. Can't see it because of the color, but if you look at the picture, if you zoom in, you can see the orangey little stripe over the shoulder. Green scales. Yeah, his has faded to nearly white. And I will say, Lucky Crafts do fade well. They will. I think it's because they use a lot of like the what's it called? The Lucky Craft RC color they did that was called like Perch or something. That was just like a black back, no scales, and like yellow sides. The yellow was not. It was like a. It was like an ink or a dye, and it would fade really bad. It would fade like you could fade it out with a flashlight. Um, it was really easy to fade. But a lot of Lucky Craft stuff back in the day. Still, they use a lot of inks and dyes and shit, and they bleed real bad. They don't bleed on the bait, but if you try to paint over them, they'll like come through. Uh, but Anthony, I don't know that I've ever had green Kool-Aid. What was that? What flavor was it? Apple? Dude, I've never. I say that I've probably had every flavor of Kool-Aid imaginable, but green doesn't stick out to me. It's lime. Hmm. Who knew? Let's see what size these are. What size they are is the right size. Okay. Throw that one in the trash. Ecto Cooler KO. Oh, AJ, I told you the Ecto Cooler hack, didn't I? That it's still made. It's just a It's a it's some other flavor by like Juicy Juice called like it's like mango pineapple Juicy Juice, and it is 100% ecto cooler. I went down a wormhole trying to find an ecto cooler because I wanted to like I thought I knew what it tasted like, and then I heard it was coming back, and I went down this like wormhole trying to decipher all things ecto cooler, and I think I ended up on Reddit, and it was something about you know that you could get ecto cooler, but it was that other flavor. MLF is going back and reviewing the results. If they think they caught the same fish twice, they're taking it away and adjusting the results. Jeremy, I don't know how on earth they think they're going to pull that off and not get some backlash. Because I would raise absolute hell if they went back and just tried to judge by a video that my fish was the same. Unless there was like a giant black spot on its head or like something that was very definitive, I would probably tell them to S a D. And they're probably going to get a call from some lawyers because that seems a little sketchy. The Surge relaunch wasn't the same. I never drank Surge. You know what I did drink? Jolt. Did y'all have Jolt? So growing up, my dad's friend, Mr. Bill, we'll call him, he was big. He was the party guy. Like he had a pool at his house. He had a popcorn machine. He had a beer keg. He had uh, like lights and shit in his dirt room where you could like dance and stuff. Like, dude had like the party house, right? And he would go to Sam's and he would just get flats of Cokes and Sprites and Dr. Peppers. The dude literally just like went and bought one of everything. So he had every like soda flavor you would desire, and he had like two fridges down in their dirt room that was for nothing but like soft drinks. And he, I went over there one day, and they had this case of drinks. It was a new one, Jolt. I'm like, ooh, what's this? And we were like 10. It's like, get you one. Okay. That's exactly what 10-year-olds need. Jolt Cola. But tasted horrible. You would get jolted though. Almost drowned in his swimming pool actually. Fond memories. I missed a bunch. Talk tried to catch the same fish twice and argued with the officials about it being legal. Surge didn't fade away because the study showing it reducing sperm count. Probably. Probably. What was it? Almost 5. These eyeballs done. Get out of here. Okay. Okay, done. No, Anthony, I'm going to put them up soon. I've been trying to get all this. I've been delayed on those. Let's just say they're all sitting here ready to go, but I've been delayed on putting them on the website because I keep saying I'm going to come in here and do it. Should be doing it now, but I'm putting eyeballs on these baits, talking to y'all instead. But maybe I need to take my computer home tonight and do it tonight. That would be the best thing to do. A little bit of a pump fake on the Dream Pops. Unintentional. After the modem got fried, that knocked me back a week. Um, frog and popper bite was on. What frog do you throw? There's nothing professional fishing related right now that isn't up in the air over rules. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to my buddy Keith about this. Y'all know Keith, spinnerbait guru, and he said, you see all this shit going on about Cayuga or whatever?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, even if it is legal, even if it is a bent rule that you are able to catch the same fish multiple times," I said, even if that turns out to be allowed, I wouldn't want to win that way." And my quote to him was, "If that's what it takes to win, I don't want to win. Like, I'll pass." You know what I mean? Like, I'll just go catch different fish and like come in last. That's fine. Like, if all those other dickheads want to run around and like catch the same fish, cool. I'm just not going to do it. So, you know, scum trophy, some oddity. But I think that's where competitive fishing is like kind of, I don't know. Like, what's wrong with just going straight up and like catching fish? Um, Said some got caught 7, 8 different times. That's a lot. That is a lot. I mean, and for when you're trying to like do good for you know what I mean? Like MLF's whole thing is like catch and release immediately. What's better? Dragging one to the weigh-in or catching it 14 times? I bet if you asked the fish, which would you rather do? Take a boat ride? Stay in a live well for half a day? Or have 7 hooks in your face and get snatched to a boat? Fish would probably say, "Take me for a ride, boss man." Say, "Okie dokie." But we'll see what happens. Owner frog hook. $100,000 cash. Looks like I might have caught a 6-pounder 2 days ago. Yeah, yeah. Money will make people do wild things. I don't know. What's up, Dave? Diamond Dave? Dirty Dave? I never knew we had mean mouth here, and a guy caught one the other day not far from me, 4-pounder. So that's a pretty good size one. Pretty good size one. Yeah, I don't know what the what's going on with bass fishing. I don't think the whole we're gonna review your catch is gonna fly at all. But I hope they do, because it'll be a shitstorm. We all need stuff to talk about, right? Yeah, you let MLF say, sorry, Jacob Wheeler, you caught this fish 3 times. It is not. It does not qualify those 3 times, so we're taking those weights away. Why is this stuck to my finger? Maybe just don't fish every tournament during the spawn. AJ, what fun would that be? Then they wouldn't have. Then they wouldn't have. Then they would have to fish normal lakes. I would like to see non-bed fishing tournaments. That would be wonderful. I don't like. I don't particularly care for them. Like, one is cool. You know what I mean? Like when they have one like blowout, like a Santee Cooper Preston Clark tournament. Like, those are fun. Um, but you don't need, you know, just to chase the spawn around everywhere. That gets old. Like, I want to see them go back to like a. We'll send them to Arkansas, to DeGray. See how they do there. After the Sabine, make that be the northern swing. I have noticed a lot of pros talking about the problems in the rules with bass and MLF lately. Cayuga was a slugfest in the summer last year, and no you could catch smallies on beds. They said bass season didn't open for another week in New York while MLF. Yeah, they had it because they catch and release their fish. They were able to get there a week earlier and molest all the fish. So, good for you, MLF. No micro John Pryor signature, but it's honest work. He said bass season. Where is that? No year going on these guys. No year. All right. They've proven in the past that they don't care about state laws anyway. Which time are you speaking of? Are you referring to, AJ? Washita, DeGray, Hamilton. Fun to watch them struggle out there and feel my pain. Exactly. Exactly. Send them to DeGray in August or July, whatever. Um, Hamilton, that would be fun. Just somewhere human. Fuck, getting their brains beaten by wake surfers. Yeah, send them to like Travis in June. That'll be awesome. In Minnesota, guys using 2 rods and double fluke rigs. Is that Is that dirty MLF again? Mike, you did miss the juicy drama. I'm about to get off here anyway. I gotta sign these and I'll be done. Signatures are going good after my. Do y'all fish this color? Anybody? Brent Erler, Gill? Does anybody throw that? I painted a Megabass grenade. MLF needs to tighten up. They sure do. For as much money as is involved in MLF and the people that are owning it and running it, they really seem like a jackleg organization. Like they're still like throwing shit up against the wall, trying to see what sticks, and like just kind of being like, whatever. Like it's. I feel like it's run worse than a local tournament trail. Okay. We are ready for clear coat. Boy, did to do 10 push-ups. Sounds about right. Man, these are beauties. They're not as beautiful as these, but they're beautiful. MLF is a free-for-all. Mike, you decided to go trash polka dot design on his baits today. I did. With gill colors, I do better with just a plain green sunfish color with some gold flashing in most of them. Really good time going. Now, if you get too detaily, they get mushy. You kind of lose. That's what like these blitzes that I painted were like the photo imaged bluegill, and they're really not like there's no contrasting colors to them. Like they're so heavily detailed that like it just looks like a gray bait. Um, no, the printed baits have never been fish catchers. Like there's a you know will you get bit on them? Some sure. Have they caught some fish? Yeah, but typically the photo imaged baits that are exact replicas of fish are not uh, you know the fish catchers that you think they would be. I know Burns is probably about to drive to my house and punch me after I talk about his beloved MLF. He said, "Painter dude, I swear I ain't building you shit for a month. You're on restriction." Sounds like it's raining again. That'll be inch number 12 for the week. South Jersey, I don't have that. I mean, that's the thing about them is people still like them. People still buy them. Uh, I think Stanley Wheat, rest in peace, Stanley Wheat. He kind of put the photo finishing thing on the map, uh, and it got taken so far that Strike King took notice and said, "Well, damn, we need to put this on our baits." So they started doing photo image baits. Um, Brennan, how would you know that? Unless you heard me say it. Because I heard that from a guy that went to his house and watched him do it. And other than that, I don't know who else would know that. Did I say that out? Did I say that audibly? Um, but yeah, that was the rumor. Um, Later, Brennan. Uh, so yeah, Strike King did it, and I feel like I saw KVD throw him one time, but he was just trying to. Fat Fingers from Tackle Underground was the best. He was better than Wheat. The funny thing about it, Burns, was that yeah, they got so much epoxy on them, South Jersey, and there's sharp corners on the joint of the hinkle. They always chip at the joint, and there's always like huge chunks of epoxy taken off of them. Um, but the uh, the funny thing about it was we kind of had that market cornered on Facebook when he was selling those things, and people would ask him, "Are these photo finished baits?" And he would dodge that question, and he always had all these answers, and like he had these terminologies that uh, he would use to not admit to it being a photo imaged bait, which it clearly was. Like there was no getting around it. Like sure, he striped the belly and the back and like maybe added a little something extra, but I mean it was 100% an image of a fish stuck to the bait. And he he would sell those things for a lot. And then everybody else was like, uh, I'm gonna do this because this guy's selling these for a lot of money, so I'm gonna learn how to do this, and I'm gonna sell them and make all the money, and I'm gonna be rich off of selling photo imaged crankbaits and lures. And the great thing about it, because I was a painter and I was anti photo finishing, like nothing made me cringe more than seeing that. Um, like I appreciated the work he did, but it was just like everything that I was for, that was like the opposite of it. Um, so when all these other jackwagons started doing the photo imaging thing, I sat back and smiled like a big Grinch smile because they all had to choose from the same Google images. So they all had the same baits. Like they all go to Google Images, look up threadfin shad, and there was only like two that had a good enough resolution that you could use and you could crop and you could stretch and do whatever you needed. You could manipulate to put on a bait. So everybody used the same pictures, and you couldn't like none of those guys could differentiate themselves because nobody had different pictures. And you still see like the crank wraps guy, they still use the same pictures that's been being used for 20 years. Same shit. You would think somebody would go out and take their own damn picture. Buka helped because he sent Stan. Yeah, he did. He was, but I think Buka just kind of rolls with whoever's popular. Whoever, you know what I mean? Like Stanley was popular with his photo finishing thing, so Buka hops on. It's good. It's good for bullshit. Hop on the trends. Um, Crank Wraps is stuck in time. They haven't updated anything. Ran out of Google Images, I guess. Somebody probably said, "You want to do some new pictures?" So, yeah, get one off Google. We've done them all. Where do we get pictures? Excuse me, sir. We could go catch fish and photograph them. You serious? No, we'll just wait till somebody updates Google. Dude stole a meme of mine and put his crank wrap bait over my bait. AJ, send me that. I'd like to see that. Put his crank wrap bait over my bait. Oh, how infuriating. Did he cover up your watermark? With his crank wrap. What a slap in the face of all things. And he's semi-local. Even better. Even better. We don't have anybody here that's like that posts anything locally. There's a few guys that sell some baits in here to stores, but they're god awful. Then what the hell is back story? Pissing him off. Yeah, he's got to have beef with you, AJ. Oh, 5 o'clock. All right, guys, I gotta go home, pick up the bean and the baby. Good talking to everybody. Be watching your emails. One of these days, I'm gonna let these dream pops free. One of these days. I thought about doing a secret coded dream pop release and make it like a riddle, and then do the be like, watch my story. But I don't know. I was like, I don't think everybody's got Instagram or follows me on Instagram. And I was gonna do like the Willy Wonka where he lets everybody in the chocolate factory and he does the thing with his hat and his cane. I was gonna play that clip, and that would be the signifier that it is time. Go get the candy. But 2024, that's right. But I passed. Too much effort. Nate would say, screw it. Probably because he wanted me to use his wraps and then a little paint. I told him it doesn't make any sense. Ah, bitter bait man. Sell those damn baits. I know, Barnes. My computer wasn't working, dude. I had computer problems. Later, John. Nate. Sorry. All right. Talk to y'all later. See you.